Hey, what's going on? Keith here from Sports Vibes TV. I'm sorry to be starting the stream laughing, but you guys are already doing your thing in the chat. We have Still Dre saying we double down on the beatdown tonight. That is a Snapple fact, and that is a great way to start the show. So once again, I'm Keith. I'm joined by my co-host Inf. Inf, how's everything, bro?
Well, good. Listen, man. Knicks, we undefeated right now. We feeling good. We looking good. We out here.
Yeah. The Knicks, for the first time in 9 years, starting the season off 2-0, and we're trying to extend that to 3-0. And I think the Magic are going to come out with a lot more intensity on defense, especially. So I'm not expecting us to go out there and be able to knock down the same amount of threes. So, Inf, let me know, what areas do you expect the team, or do you want the Knicks to improve upon so we can, have a similar result this game tonight?
I mean, like you just said regarding the threes, even in that last game where we were knocking a ton of them down, there was still a ton of wide open threes that we just missed, and it was a lot of them was back to back possessions, like whether it was Fournier getting two wide open threes missing, RJ getting two back to back threes missing, just completely wide open, even on fast breaks. We won by like 30, but against like really strong teams, we need to make sure that we're knocking those threes down. Any wide open shot should be hit for us. We made a ton of contested shots against the Magic, which is why we killed them. But we do need to focus on knocking those wide open ones down.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to see us have a better mix too, because I'm expecting Jamal Mosley to come out and have the team on point defensively. He's a defensive coach coming over from the Dallas Mavericks, and against the Magic, we shot about 60% of our shots from not in the paint, and I would like to see that closer to about 50-50 when it comes to threes and twos. If you look at the breakdown or the shot selection against the Celtics, I think it was a nice mix, right around 50-50 between the two different types of shots. And I want to see us getting into the paint, scoring more in the paint with Julius Randle. I think he was a beast against the Celtics. And I think if the Magic are able to force our shooters off the 3-point line, we should get a decent amount of some pretty good looks in the paint, and hopefully we're able to convert. Now, RJ Barrett, you did mention that he missed a couple of open looks, and he didn't have the highest scoring output, didn't have a lot of shots. If I'm not mistaken, he only had what, 8?
Seven.
And 7. And I would like him to have a couple more, try to get double digit shots. But if he doesn't get double digit shots, it's cool, because you know why? He's developing into that lockdown perimeter player for us. I looked on NBA.com. It said RJ Barrett is holding matchups to 9 of 35. There's shooting. There's another stat circulating that's saying 7 of 38. I'm not 100% sure where they got that from, but I'll go with what I found on NBA.com. And if he's going to continue to hold his matchup to those kind of shooting percentages, then I think the Knicks are going to be okay with him finding his shots here and there throughout the offense, and not having to be a big volume scorer.
No, I mean, and that's actually good to see because remember during media day, one of the things RJ himself spoke about is how he actually aspires to be a two-way player. So it's
Mm-hmm.
good to just see that it's not just words, but this is something he's genuinely working on.
Yeah. How did you feel about Tibbs Knight pulling the starters there in the fourth and letting them go out there and play up 30?
I mean, are we surprised?
Exactly.
Are we surprised? No. Because the Magic, they brought it to 15 at one point. So I understand why he's a bit hesitant because at the end of the game, this isn't preseason. These games matter. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and so, we need to make sure that we're winning these games that we're supposed to win because in Tibbs' mind, he's like, all right, I want to be up 3-0 going into the game against Philly. So we got to make sure that we hit these. But again, it's a Tibbs team, so I'm not surprised. It sucks
Yeah,
that our
these.
don't get that much burn, especially if we're up that much. But I guess
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too upset about it, especially knowing that it's Tibbs. This is what you're expecting. So for him to go out there and just show me more of what I already saw, or what we already saw last season, where he's going to stick with his starters and he's going to make sure that the lead is safe before he even thinks about reaching out and sending in some of those bench players. But I'm cool with it as long as nobody gets hurt. We saw a little scary incident towards the end where Wendell Carter Jr. Kind of whacked Julius Randle in the face. Of course, we don't want moments like that, you want him to pull his starters at that point. But if the game is not dirty like that, and Tibbs isn't really liking what he's seeing from the team out there on the court, if he leaves them on there a little bit longer than expected, then I'll live with it. It's not something I'm going to hang him, especially if it ends up working out for us in the end, because he said it in a press conference himself. If I pull him and the team goes on a run, you'll have something to say. If I don't pull him and we withstand any kind of run and win the game big, you're still going to say something. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's part of operating in New York, and it's just something you got to live with. So Inf, anything else you've noticed from the game last night that you want to see the Knicks kind of do better with?
Oh yeah, our perimeter defense. Again, Magic, they started off pretty hot, and
Bamba had 2, I think, threes.
Yeah, and we weren't making adjustments to those threes. They just started missing. Like a lot. If you watch the game, a lot of the threes that the Magic missed were wide open looks. A lot of the time, we're like rushing to try to pick up, but by that time they had already released. It's just they were off. So we definitely need to tighten up on our perimeter defense. We need to make sure that any shot that they're trying to take from the three, we're contesting it. And also we need to close out. And also our offense in general just needs to figure out how to score against the zone, because once the Magic started playing zone against us, that's when everything went haywire. That's when they cut the lead from 30 to 15. And if you remember against the Hawks, once they started playing zone, we couldn't really score. So it seems like even now with the addition of these new shooters on our team, the zone is still our kryptonite.
Yeah, it's going to take some time, I think, for the whole team to get in rhythm. But I like what I saw from the second unit. And as long as those guys are going to continue to shoot the way they did in this game, like they did on Friday, then I think we should be fine. I think the Magic, they're not deep enough to hang with our second unit, and they barely have enough depth to kind of be competitive against our starting team. We expect them to come out with more fight, but I'm fully expecting the Knicks to punch the Magic in the mouth once again. I think this is a team now that we're one of those good teams where we're able to run these teams off the court that really can't compete with us. Now, I'm not expecting another 30-point barrage, another 30-point blowout, but I think we should win this game by double digits. Also, we're getting some players back. Taj Gibson, congrats to him once again. He had a child. He's going to be returning based on what Ian Bagley is reporting. And if you think that's going to be a big addition with Taj coming back?
I mean, well, he looked good in the first game and in preseason. Remember, he was hitting some corner threes, so I'm not even mad about it. I feel like when he's on the court, there's some good spacing. Obviously, there's some concern going against some of the bigs that the Magic have, but offensively, I feel like he easily spreads the floor when he's in that kind of position.
Yeah, I'm excited to have Taj back too. That nice mid-range jump shot is something that the offense definitely could use. He could also be that zone buster if the Magic decide to throw the zone at us, and he can knock down that jump shot. He should be pretty excited too, coming back to a team that's up 2-0, not up 2-0, but is 2-0 to start the season. We were talking earlier about things or areas of improvement. And this is probably something I should have said earlier. We got to work on our free throw shooting. Our free throw shooting has been brutal. You know what I mean? I remember the game against the Celtics. You were telling me every few minutes, like, "Hey, Keith, yo, look, we're shooting 60-some-odd% from three." And this team, and this has been something that the Knicks have had to work on for a while. And I would like to see us go out there and start knocking down free throws right around the 80% mark. You don't got to be perfect. Everybody's not gonna make all their free throws, but I think what were we? I think 9 for 16. I got to pull up the box score, but it was not good.
No, it was brutal. We were definitely around 50%. And honestly, if last season's championship finals showed us anything, it's that you need to hit your free throws to win. Because Giannis, when he was knocking down his free throws, they looked unstoppable. And so if we're a team, I mean, because missing free throws, that's literally leaving points. So if you finish a game and you see that you lost that game by like 4 points, but you missed 17 free throws, you could have gotten those 4 points somewhere within those free throws.
So I got the box score pulled up. So we shot 9 of 17, which is 53% if you round up from the free throw line, from the charity stripe. That is
Yeah.
not a sign of a great team. I think that's something we definitely have to work on. Tibbs should have those guys shooting free throws time and time again. It's crazy. We shoot 44% from three, but we only shoot 53% from free throw. That's crazy.
It's out of control. I mean, and we added shooters to our team, so it doesn't make sense.
Right, you would think, and then we have Quick. Even though I don't think Quick only took two, and of course he made both of his two. So that means outside of Emmanuel Quickly, the rest of the team was 7 of 15 from the charity stripe.
I was happy to see Quickly having a good game though. I was a little concerned because remember even in preseasons he was okay, but then that first game against Boston he was looking rough, and I was hoping to see some improvement from him. So seeing him have a much better game against the Magic, it made me feel good. You know.
Yeah, I wasn't too concerned, but definitely seeing him have this breakout performance is definitely alleviates some of the pressure on him. And I think it's nice to see him having fun out there. You know, he shot, dropped the contact or whatever the case may be, put it back in, and then he started showboating with having some fun out there. It's nice to see the guys have fun out there, and it's dope to hear them talk about each other as a team. They have that. They're starting to build that camaraderie. Manuel quickly was talking about it after the game. And if, last season, a big story was them going to the gym, working out together as a team after the game. I think it was after the Celtics game. We saw Deuce and we saw Grimes putting shots up with Wayne Selden. I think the team, they like each other. They enjoy practicing with each other. They enjoy just being together as a unit. And I think that's just going to help them as they go through this season, because this is more so of a soft start for the season, having home and homes against the Magic. But as we get further along in the season, we're going to see stiffer competition. So the fact that these guys, are friendly with each other, like each other, it'll help them when they have to get into the trenches and battle against some of these more difficult opponents.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I know that they have the whole Ben Simmons saga going on right now, but our very next game is against Philly, so that's still not an easy team to beat. They still got an MVP caliber player in Joel Embiid. They still got Tobias Harris. Like that's going to be a squad to watch out for. So I hope we can get this quick 3-0 lead. That way we can go into that game having much more confidence, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, are you looking for Obi to have another big game? Last game he had 13 points, 5 of 8 from the field, even had 2 3-pointers. He had Obi chance.
Yeah,
Knicks fans travel. It seems like the league forgot Knicks fans travel, but we're everywhere.
Yeah, yo. First off, I love to see the love that Obi's getting, like, because last year, anytime any trade was mentioned around players like Lillard and Beal and all of them, everybody was quick to throw in, a couple first round picks and Obi Toppin, and I'm just like, why are we giving up on Obi so early on? It's been like a couple months. So I'm glad that people are starting to see how serious Obi is. He clearly worked on his game in the off season. Now he's and the chemistry there. Like now his fast breaks, people are actually finding him, dishing at him, and he's finishing at the rim. I mean, he's doing what he's supposed to do, and I'm just happy to see him get all the love. When we was in the Garden for the Celtic game, there was so many times that the whole Garden was just chanting Obi. It was insane.
Oh, if you got to show the shirt.
Oh yeah, we out here. Knicks 75. You're ready. New York Forever. We out here. They gave us out at the Garden.
Also, chat, Inf is famous out here. We went to the park because I drive to the game. So we went to the parking garage to get something. And apparently, Inf, being the famous person he is, he got noticed.
I guess some of my points, people know me because of some of my takes, but
it is what it is. Exactly. But I mean, it was all love at the garage though, so that's the positive. They able to dap him up, so salute to him. Yeah, but yeah, like you said, it's dope to see Obi out there doing his thing. I'm happy for him. I mean, I think I've included him in a couple of trades, not because I wanted to make the trade per se, but it was just looking at certain options if the team wanted to get better last season. But I'm glad Obi is still on this team and he's balling. He's been putting in the work with Dave Zanin in the offseason, working on his low post moves. Still needs to work on that some, but I like the way we're using him a lot more this season. Before the season started, I said Obi needs to be attacking the basket. He needs to be rolling to the rim as opposed to being strictly a floor spacer out there sitting in the corner three. And we're seeing him flourish in this new role. And also at times you'll see him in the small ball lineup. I think he works well with a Julius Randle. And for him to continue to grow and blossom, I think that second unit is going to be probably the most potent second unit in this league. I don't see too many benches competing with us. And then at that point, if our bench is going to be a wash or better than another team's bench, we just have to rely on Julius Randle to continue to do what he's doing, and Evan Fournier or RJ to kind of chip in here and there. And I think this team with that formula is going to be very hard to beat most nights than not. And I think that's why we're going to win right around 47, 48 games this season. And the third win will be tonight. That's my prediction. It's not much of a prediction seeing that we smoked them by 30, but the Knicks really didn't give me much room to say otherwise.
No, I mean, that's, one play I do want to point out is Kemba. Like, his stats don't show up that much when you look at a stat sheet, but his impact on the game, like, you can tell that whenever he's on the court, other players know who he is. They know, all right, this is Kemba. If I leave him open, he's going to knock it down. If I get too close, he's speeding right by me. And so defenses are much more hesitant when he's on the court because they know that he's capable of so much. And
he's an offensive threat. Yep.
Exactly. And he has the actual eyes to see, all right, if these two people are too close to me, I know exactly where to dish out to get to the open man. Kemba, his impact on the game is looking good. He's doing his thing.
Offensively, even though he hasn't had a breakout game, you can definitely see how he's affecting the way defenses kind of guard the New York Knicks. And he's always got that threat of knocking down the three. We've looked at his game, analyzed his game here on the channel. We've seen that he's been more so of a perimeter threat as opposed to someone that's going to get into the paint and finish at the rim. But if he's going to continue to knock down perimeter shots and still facilitate and find open teammates, that's going to be a big bonus offensively from what we had with the other player. Don't want to mention his name. He's on to better things or on to other things. That's going to be a better production from what we were getting there previously. And my biggest concern with Kemba so far is defensively. I think teams are looking to attack him on defense, and it's going to be an issue, I think, throughout the season. It is what it is. I think we all knew that coming into the season. It's going to fall on Tibbs to kind of not lock down, but scheme up the right defensive packages to kind of hide Kemba out there. And also it's going to come down to RJ Barrett continuing to be a lockdown too. He's not really showing the two-way part of it. Right now we're seeing more so him being a 3-and-D player. But hopefully he's able to get more so into the flow of the offense so we can see him do a lot more out there as opposed to just be a catch and shoot threat. Well, you shaking your head. Do you see that spin move he was able to break out? And then the right hand finish? What you mean?
I know. You said when it comes to two-way, he hasn't really been showing much more of the two-way. Like, yes, did you not see?
He showed flashes of it in the first game. Yes, I agree. But then
he wasn't in the first half. He was a little quiet, but the second half, he went off.
Yeah, he had moments. But I think the thing is with RJ, you want a little bit more consistency throughout the game. He'll have a quarter where you see the explosion. I think as he starts to get into the flow of the game this season, you'll see him provide a lot more offensive production and be a lot more consistent. But like I said in the beginning of the show, I'm cool with him just locking up his matchup every game. Anything outside of that, I think it's going to be a major bonus. And I think that's just a testament of how much offensive firepower we have on this team. I'm cool with our third overall pick being a lockdown at his position. And anything on top of that is icing on the cake. Is that where I want his growth to kind of be stunted at? No, but that's the role we need him for to operate in this season. And if he's going to continue to excel there, then I think that's going to be phenomenal for us.
No, yeah, I'm starting to feel like we got the second best player from that draft.
Yeah, it's starting to look like it, especially with the fact that Zion can't even get on the court.
Exactly. I'm just like, we would have been dealing with this, and we would have been tight because Nick, the New York, we not forgiving. Like, nah, you better find a way to lose some weight. You better get in shape.
Figure it out, yeah. And he's dealing with the same injury that Mitchell Robinson is dealing with. I don't understand why it's like taboo to say Jones fracture, but whatever you're gonna make fun of me, but whatever you fracture your fifth metatarsal and it requires surgery to heal, that's most likely more than not a Jones fracture. So I fully expect Zion to take some time. He might not return in 2021. He might be somebody you see return to the court in January or February. So,
Only if he can get
I'm
his
fine with
weight
our pick.
control.
Go ahead.
I said only if he can get his weight under control. Because at least with Mitch gained weight in actual muscle. It looks like Zion's just gaining weight. Like,
Yeah, right.
and
And you might understand that if he fractured his foot, so he's not really going to be able to do as much cardio. But you look at Mitch. Mitch didn't really come looking overweight. I mean, his face is a little chubby. I ain't gonna front, but he didn't come out. He was a little sluggish, but that's just condition, and he didn't come out looking like I said, overweight. But with Zion, that's the New Orleans Pelicans. That's for them to deal with. I think I'm benefiting from it right now because I have Ingram in fantasy. So I continue to hope that he recovers and, maybe he'll come back sometime next season. Still people that want us to trade for him, too much risk involved. Way too much risk involved. Yeah, they circulate that on social media. A lot of people say we should still try to pair Zion with RJ. If anything, I'm trying to target Cam. Let's bring Cam over if we're going to try to target somebody or one of RJ's Duke buddies or Duke pals.
Right. I mean, that doesn't make sense only because we have both Julius Randle and Obi, who's playing great at that same position. Why would we trade anything for a guy who we're not sure if he's going to even be able to play this season?
He'll probably be able to play.
Again, it might not be injury. I personally think that it's his weight that's going to keep him off the court. Just because, like, if you look at reports, even his own
300 pounds,
organization, they're concerned. They're concerned about his weight, about if he's like conditioning. So, because after his foot heals, like he still needs to get into NBA shape again, being able to run down the court, and I don't know.
That's true. Vincent is saying Brooklyn's getting their butts handed to them by Charlotte. Yeah, I keep telling people the Knicks are the best team in the city. I wrote it on Facebook. People said I was crazy. I wrote it on Twitter. People saying I'm crazy. We're the best team in New York, regardless of sport at this point.
They're down
by the Giants won. Go ahead.
Brooklyn's down by 11 with 3 minutes to go. Again, KD could score 11 in 3 minutes, but I don't know, man.
Are they going to stop Charlotte from scoring 11 in 3 minutes? That's the big question over there with Brooklyn.
Oh, Charlotte's really 2-0. I was about to say, why does it feel like they lost by like 50? But that was the last preseason
game, right? That was preseason. Yeah. I don't know if it was the last game, but that was definitely preseason.
Well, yeah, they up 2-0. Okay, look at them.
Metropolitan Giants wearing knickerbockers. Salute, new subscriber. He commented on my post-game show. Salute, thank you for joining. Let's go Giants. Had a nice win today. Got me feeling good for the pregame. Hopefully the Knicks continue the good vibes, the positive vibes, get a W. So in the post-game with Foxy, I can be all smiles as well. I hate coming on here and having to dissect any of my teams losing. It's not a good feeling.
No, true. And then somebody said that this game feels like a must-win. And honestly, it does feel like a must-win just because, like I stated earlier, these are those games where you look on the Knicks schedule, these are guaranteed wins. And so that's why this feels like a must-win, because this is a game that we should win. This is the kind of game where if we lose this game, then down the stretch, we're fighting for a certain seeding. We're going to be like the game against the Magic, the third game. We should have easily won that game. But because we lost, now we're in this, so these are one of those games, as with any game that we're going against a team that we know we're clearly better than, they're must-wins because you have to win those. You got to capitalize. So hopefully the Knicks can do just that tonight.
I don't think I could have said it any better than that. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say the same thing. These are the games that, we have to add to the win column, because I know we're supposed to have the West Coast trip, and the Lakers, they're in turmoil right now. So, I'm not looking at that game as potentially being a hard W, but there's still other teams out there in the West that are looking pretty good. Utah is looking pretty good. The Nuggets. So that portion of the schedule is going to be tough. We need to pick up these games against teams like the Magic, games like, teams like Detroit. We need to pick these games up. So just in case we do have, difficulties against teams that are a little bit more top heavy with talent, then at least we can fall back on some of these games to help boost our win percentage and help with seeding toward the end of the year.
Facts. First off, why does it seem like Golden State is the best team in the West again?
They need to play Moody. That's what they need to do. But they've been balling. Steph has been doing his thing, man. If only we could have drafted Steph.
Or one pick away.
Yeah, I'm only one pick away. Yeah, start singing, everybody leave.
Because they're looking like the Golden State of old. Like, it's insane. Yeah. And then if you look at a lot of the West teams that should normally be playoff teams that they're probably not going to be, I look at teams like the Clippers. Like last season, obviously, anytime with Kawhi, you're going to be a playoff team. But they don't have Kawhi this season, and they didn't really add much in the offseason. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. LA basketball is going to be interesting this season. Metropolitan Giants is saying, I think Kemba has a big game tonight. I hope so.
Me too.
I hope so. I want to see a shot drop. Let me go back to the box score. He really.
I mean, remember the last game, he started the game off with a 3.
Yeah.
He was the first Knick to score.
First 3. He used to go the first 3 threes, I think, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it?
No.
Or was that the Celtics?
He made the first 2. He made the first 2.
Yeah, and then it was quiet after that, but hey, he got us off to a good start, and that's what I want from our starting point guard. Last season, our point guard wasn't putting us in the best position to get off the hot starts, and Kemba's doing that, and that's all I can ask for him. He's only getting paid $8 million, so he's not really taking up a lot of cap space. And if you look at other players making $8 million, if they go out there, shoot 4 of 8 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, and have 11 points, you'll live with it. The issue though is we won by 30, and Kemba was -2. That's brutal. So offensively, he's showing us some, but I think defensively, it's going to be an issue with him.
Not yet. I mean, that's saying he's just going to have to work around. Like, he's going to have to spend more time with the team, get into his right spots when it comes to our team defense, and then we'll just have to go from there.
Yeah. Also, we've got 90 in chat, 34 likes. Do us a solid. Make sure you smash that like button. Also, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Got another post game coming up after this game tonight with Foxy. So make sure you're subscribed and got the bell notification turned on. That way you're notified when I'm live with Foxy, and we'll be recapping the Orlando Magic game. Hey, Jay Boogie's in chat. He's saying salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Get those like buttons up. Love and appreciate the sports vibe. Everybody should have on that Julius Randle jersey number 30 after tonight, because we going to be 3-0. Bars.
That's fire.
Hey, Jay Boogie. He's the one that made the podcaster song. Fire, bro.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. Heat. You know what? I'll probably end the show with that too today. Salute to Jay Boogie. Let's see. Metropolitan Giants wearing Knickerbockers is saying, I can see Grimes getting more minutes this year for his defense alone. Yeah, we've seen that Grimes has been the first player that Tibbs has kind of pulled off the bench when it comes to the rookies and other younger players. Are we bunching in Knox with the rookies at this point? Because I felt weird saying with the rookies, thinking, well, Knox is over there too, but he's one of the first young players off the bench, I guess, is what we'll phrase it as.
This is what, Knox third year?
4th.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's gone after this season, like Frank last season.
That's cool. It feels like he is a rookie though. That's crazy.
Right? It feels like it sometimes. It's like, but then you think about it, it's like, damn, it's been almost 4 years and we still don't know what's going on.
Well, and also he was drafted young. I think we drafted him and he was like 18 years old. So he's what? Obi's older than him.
Yeah, Calipari did say it was going to take 2-3 years for him to develop, but I mean, I still haven't seen much during his minutes out there. He's still able to knock down the 3, but outside of that, I'm still not seeing what I think Tibbs was going to want to see in order to give him more minutes.
No, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's probably whatever it is he's doing or not doing in practice.
Yeah. Adele Chapman is saying, I'm a starving Knicks fan. Respect. Facts. And then they came at me in the video because I'm hyped that we beat the Orlando Magic. Think about our history. These are typically games the Knicks would have coughed up. the Celtics game, a game the Knicks would have typically coughed up. So me living in the moment, hey, I was hyped. You know, I'm not used to seeing us wipe the court with teams that we're supposed to get up out of there. You know, I mean, yeah, we had stretches last season where we got pretty hot, but there's different expectations this season. And I think the thing is, sometimes when the Knicks have had those expectations, they didn't live up to it. And now we're starting to see Tibbs with the culture, the culture that he's creating there. This team is starting to look or display the characteristics of a great team, a good team.
I mean, because we're both a great and a good team. Finally, like we are that team that teams have to worry about. Who said it? Somebody said teams know that they got to bring their A game when they come against the Knicks now. It was in the and that's a fact, and that's also a fact that hasn't been true for us in years. So finally, we're that team.
Yeah, and it feels good. It feels good. And it feels good to be on the video discussing and trying to be, you know, I don't want to disrespect the Orlando Magic and their fan base when I'm discussing with them. So I got to watch my words, because at the end of the day, you know, Knicks, we were in that same position, you know, not too long ago. So I don't really want to bash them. They're a young team. They're looking to build and add young pieces, and hopefully they'll figure it out. But, you know, unfortunately, they're the team in front of us. So we're going to have to beat the brakes off of them.
I mean, and also with the Magic, let's not forget, like, they do have a lot of young talent that just happens to be injured, like Fultz and Jonathan Isaac, and Michael Carter-Williams, and they have a ton of talent. It just, they're hurt. So they literally...
Tell her I said hi.
Marquise says hi.
Uncle Marquise. Let's get it together. It's all good. All right. If I can see you got some family time, you got your loved one you want to watch the game with, so I'll let you go. We'll wrap it up here. Thank you for holding down the stream. Also, thank you to the mods, Big Task, Alexa Destroyer, Justin L. Thank you guys for holding it down. Chat, appreciate you guys pulling up for the pregame stream. You guys enjoy the game. I'll be back again later on with Stephen Fox, our NBA analyst, breaking down the game. And we're gonna end it off with her saying hello. But we're gonna end it off with Jay Boogie and his jam. All right, podcasting. Peace.
Let's get it. Y'all be spitting with your flows, I'm just podcasting.
That's right.
On the air every day, I'm just podcasting.
What?
You don't know what that mean when I say I'm podcasting. I'm broadcasting these flows with the podcasting. Every day of my life, I'm just podcasting.
Right.
Share my dreams with you, mean I'm podcasting.
What?
You can see my vision through the podcasting.
Yeah.
But don't forget Jay Boogie when I'm broadcasting.
What?
I'm podcasting,
What?
he's podcasting.
What?
I've been spitting this venom since Karate Flicks. When Mr. Sims was sharing nothing but the Knicks. I guess you know by now, I seen some tough years. Now I know the reason why Freezy got them blowing tears. Closest thing to the Reverend means I'm the deacon. Call up G-Mo just so he can talk to Legion. I'm squeezing, get my young ones to overstand. Some more advice, Ron Cleveland, Mr. Man. I guess y'all know I'm just podcasting, right? Y'all be spitting with your flows, I'm just podcasting.
That's right.
On the air every day, I'm just podcasting.
What?
You don't know what that mean when I say I'm podcasting. I'm broadcasting these flows with the podcasting. Every day of my life, I'm just podcasting.
Right.
Share my dreams with you, mean I'm podcasting.
What?
You can see my vision through the podcasting.
Yeah.
But don't forget Jay Boogie when I'm broadcasting.
What?
I'm podcasting,
What?
he's podcasting.
What?
I know some haters and doubters, they wanna take the shine. Call up JL, he said, do it in a nick of time. I feel you young when the car drive, they wanna ride. If you ain't Keys, we don't share the same sports vibe. We different, in other words, we ain't alike. My young head, Hadouken, he a nick at night. No sleeping, we YouTubing through the daylight. That's what it is when you live inside that Nick life. That Nick life, that Nick life. Y'all be spitting with your flows, I'm just podcasting.
That's right.
On the air every day, I'm just podcasting.
What?
You don't know what that mean when I say I'm podcasting. I'm broadcasting these flows with the podcasting. Every day of my life, I'm just podcasting.
Right.
Share my dreams with you, mean I'm podcasting.
What?
You can see my vision through the podcasting.
Yeah.
But don't forget Jay Boogie when I'm broadcasting.
What?
I'm podcasting,
What?
he's podcasting.
What?
My man CP said let's Nick fan the TV. From the podcast back to the MSG, the network, we breaking news here every day. Run the intro, that's CK, the 2K, the bills paid. Stephen Fox, he got a dog walk. We'll tell JD we need that new sport talk. I don't care about the Sixers if they falling off. I'm at the rim left-handed like John Starks. John Starks, what? John Starks. Shout out to all the podcasters doing their thing. If you listen and represent a podcast, hit the like button and smash them up. You know what I'm saying? They working hard for you and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the First Lady, Miss Stephanie. Shout out to Ian Begley. Shout out to J Mac. Shout out to my man Tone Wu. Shout out to my man for the love of the game. And shout out for the pause and radio. And a special shout out to my man, the entertainer. You know what I'm saying? Rocking them New York Giants. It is football season. I can't forget him, man. Peace, love, and happiness to everybody. Protect yourself, love yourself. You know what I'm saying? 3 capital S. Salute, 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 man. Peace.